Pugnos, we're on location here. Like I said, I'm gonna be reviewing both of the lenses here side by side so you can see. We've got all three lenses on the Shiftcam. We've got three lenses and even the gold anamorphic, which I won't be showing. I also have the filter for the 37mm that goes on here if you wanted to add filters, like ND filters and stuff to your phone on the Moment side. So you'll see that down below in the links in the description. With that said, guys, this is gonna be the native apps. I'm not gonna be using the Moment apps. I'm not gonna be using any other third-party apps. I'm gonna be using the native apps for the photo and the camera. So we're gonna be taking a couple of pictures and mostly video, showing you guys the side-by-side of each lens. We're not gonna be using the 3X on the 13 Pro Max. There's actually a slot here to be able to put the Shiftcam on it because, well, the Moment lens case for the Pixel Pro 6 does not have an attachment for their Tele lens. And so I'm only gonna be using the wide, the 1X. I am gonna be zooming in a little bit up to their maximum zoom length before it switches to the other lens, but just keep that in mind. Now guys, for this review here, I only have Moment case for the Pixel Pro 6. I don't have it for the 13 Pro Max because it hasn't come yet because of the delays in shipping like I mentioned. So on the iPhone, we're only gonna be using the Shiftcam. So with that said, you guys let me know down below in the comments in the description which you think is better. Again, we're only going by the lenses, not necessarily the camera, because these are completely different cameras. I did review the camera, so you guys can check that above in the cards. Down below in the links in the description, like I mentioned, are gonna be links for all the products, pricing, and availability, so check that out if you wanna help out the channel. All right, we're gonna do a quick comparison here of the Moment lenses. I'm a huge fan of the Moment folks over there in Seattle. They make some really good products, but these are definitely going to be run for their money for sure. As far as the lenses go, they're about comparable in price. They seem to be about the same size. Let's take the anamorphic first. Here's the blue anamorphic compared to the blue anamorphic. Seem to be about the same width, same height. But it seems like the anamorphic for the Moment is a little bit taller or deep. All right, let's do the wide here for Shiftcam versus Moment. Much different, I guess, approach here. They're both 18mm, much wider from the Shiftcam. Much taller from the Moment. Completely different, I guess, applicator. Okay, lastly here, let's go over the 2X Tele. This is a 60mm on the Shiftcam and a 58 on the Moment. Much, much bigger it seems from the Shiftcam. Much, much taller, much heavier, all around. These are both shot on the native app and no lenses, so you guys have a frame of reference here. I'm going to try to do the exact same movement here for this whole thing so you guys can get an idea of what the camera looks like. Both are, you know, look really, really nice. Pixel 6 is going to look a little more saturated and more rich. I do have some natural stabilization on here. We'll zoom up right before we get to the second lens. I feel like I'm getting a little bit more width on the Moment, even though they're both 18. Both of them on the 18mm. Both looking really good, holding stabilization. If anything, getting the wide for either lens is really, really good. It's hard to be able to like compare because we're using two different cameras. But it seems like the Shiftcam is more than 18mm. Pixel 6 is obviously a little more richer in saturation, just the way that the image takes the shot. I'm going to zoom them both up right before they turn to their next lens. Both are about 3x. Google's trying to do some stabilization and it's doing some weird stuff. The iPhone is generally keeping stabilization pretty standard. But with that lens on there, the Pixel's having a hard time stabilizing. Whatever software it uses, it's kind of just fluctuating, whereas the iPhone is having a better chance. Okay, 2x. Obviously can't get the whole fence in frame, but let's go ahead and start backing up here now. Stabilization is struggling on both cameras. The Google kind of just jitters as I move and pan. The iPhone as well, but the Pixel is having a hard time keeping up with this 2x on there. It doesn't like it. It's very wobbly on both regards. Trying to keep everything as stable as I can. Zoom up a little bit here before we hit the second lens. I've got both of them at 0.9x. That'll allow it to zoom without it going to the next lens. At this point, the iPhone's starting to blur. The Google's doing a good job stabilizing though. I'm actually really impressed. Looks pretty cool. I don't know how I feel. Both of them are doing a really good job. Okay, we got anamorphic on both sides here. You can see because of the bars on the top. Seems like the moment is bowing a little bit more, whereas the Shiftcam isn't bowing as much. But just panning here a little bit while I'm walking, showing you guys here the differences. You can see both are giving a nice little anamorphic zing. Shiftcam is having, seems like it's doing 2 rays when you look straight up at the sun. Moment is giving you more of a thicker blue flare. Both are stabilizing pretty decently and they're both looking really good as I move past there. You can zoom slightly. I'm going to zoom to 0.29x, just right before the 3x mark, so it'll hit to the other lens. I want to avoid that. But even with the anamorphic, you can zoom slightly. I wouldn't recommend it though. I'd recommend against it. It looks like with the anamorphic, the Google's able to stabilize really nicely. Still giving you a very much of an orange color and tinge. Zooming out here, got that flare starting to come through. That's actually blinding there. With that said, guys, that's it. That's the end here. The Shiftcam lenses are really growing on me. I've been a huge Moment lens supporter. I really like Moment. I like the gold anamorphic. I like their quality and their glass, but the Shiftcam is very impressive. They're about the same width. I think the 2X was a little bit too heavy. It was starting to, you know, hurt my hand. Nonetheless, very clear. Their case, their adapters, I think they do it fantastic so that you don't see any fuzz or haze or any of like the outside vignetting, because you can see the outside of the lens. So they do a really good job there. Nonetheless, guys, it's all up to your guys' preference. I'm still gonna stick with the Moment. I really like it. However, if you pair this with the Progrip, which I highly recommend, check the link up in the cards. you got a really good solution there for running and gunning, shooting, professional photography, vlogs, that good stuff. So thanks so much for checking this, guys, out. Again, down below in the links in the description are pricing, product links, and whatnot. If you're interested, help out the channel. Other than that, we'll catch you on the next one.